Hey folks, welcome to the Platinum review of Tekken 8. The legendary fighting franchise returned last year, and today we are going to talk about how well it has fared since then and discuss our hopes for its future. Tekken being a fighting game, I believe there is not much I can do to spoil it, but beware of minor spoilers here and there, as the footage you will see on the screen is from my story mode walkthrough as well as the story DLC walkthrough. With that out of the way, let's start with the review. Tekken is one of my favorite fighting franchises of all time. I have only ever been interested in a few fighting games, and I think the amount of time I have sunk into Tekken is second only to Mortal Kombat, but Tekken 8 has probably changed that. The main reason for making this review is because I ended up sinking a lot more hours in Tekken than I expected to, and the game has really grown up a lot since launch with paid DLC, free content and a lot of quality of life improvements. Another reason is that I am not a fighting game player. I like them a lot and have a lot of fun playing them, but I have never had the patience to get really good at them or to learn every single move and counter for even a single player. The only fighting games I have picked up are easy plats. If there are multiplayer or skill-based trophies involved, I pull a Devil Jin and fly away. This, I think, is the main reason Tekken was able to sink its teeth in me. I picked it up thinking it was an easy plat, I will be done in a few hours, but I ended up sinking well over 50 hours into this game. Major share of those hours is after I got the platinum. I think it's safe to say that Tekken 8 is doing something right if it was able to hold me over after I had achieved everything I planned to achieve with this game. Let's talk about the reason for that. One of the major reasons is the presentation. Tekken 8 looks phenomenal. I mean, literally this game looks better than real life. Even with characters like Kazuya and Jin flying around on the screen, the level of detail is so good that you would believe this is how these creatures will look in real, and this will be the power-up effects and sounds that we will see if they fight. Everything looks amazing. The character, the world, the levels, the breakable walls and transitions. This really helps complement the gameplay because every hit and throw looks and feels authentic. There is a lot of stuff going on the screen during every fight, and even if you are not playing, just looking at the fights will get your blood pumping. But there is only so much the presentation can do for you. I believe presentation is only there to support the gameplay. What makes or breaks a game is always the gameplay. Thankfully, Tekken 8 has a long-running successful format to innovate on, so minor tweaks in the gameplay is all that was needed. And these tweaks feel like an awesome addition to the already amazing fighting style that every Tekken game has had so far. Every punch feels good and every block and counter fills you up with excitement. I am a little upset at the changes in the moveset of some legacy characters, but that is probably a personal issue and you may not have it. What I do like is that every fighter feels good to play and have a moveset that complements their character and backstory. There are a couple of new characters in the game and a lot of new and returning characters that have been added since launch. The roster is good, really good for a fighting game. Playing as King makes it feel like a wrestling match. Warang and Law have moves straight out of a Bruce Lee movie. Paul and Brian look like thugs and hit like powerful end bosses. And Yoshimitsu is just a wild card that can end up killing anyone on the screen, including himself. Speaking about the story is good, but it is a typical fighting game story where a lot of bonkers events take place throughout the campaign, but it realistically changes nothing. No major character dies, and we are not that far off from where we started in the end. Whoever was pissed at whoever is still pissed, and the friends and enemies factions are pretty much unchanged. I know fighting games need to do this because they need to keep every character playable in the next iteration, so this is not a point against it. I am just putting it out there. But the presentation of the story mode is awesome, and at certain points it feels like you're watching a high resolution anime with crazy stunts and action going on the screen. But the one thing that really blew me off is that we have so many fighters from different cultures and places around the world, so they have their own native tongue. But for some reason, everyone understands what the other guy is saying. I mean, the only reason I can keep up with it is because of subtitles, but apparently there is a German guy explaining in German to a Chinese guy why they need a better plan, and they are intervened with a French guy who has a better idea in French, and still everyone understands what everyone is saying. Mind-blowing. Apart from that, there are personal story levels for each character in the game, which brings you up to whatever they have been doing since the last part, or if there is any update in their status in the Tekken lore. But these are usually silly and fun highlights, and nothing serious or noteworthy is mentioned here. So just play those for the characters you like because you need to clear 10 of them for the trophy. Now let's talk about what's new in this iteration of Tekken, because no matter what the story and performance is, a fighting game is about fighting, and the fighting systems and mechanic need to be fun for every fight. Well, I'm glad to say that fighting in Tekken 8 is better than ever, especially because of the addition of the new heat system. This system adds a bar to your character that refreshes every round. Once you activate it, your damage is enhanced. You even do more chip damage while the opponent is blocking you, This also unlocks a variety of moves based on your character and adds some really flashy and high damage finishers to most of your combos. You can also use heat to get out of critical situations when an opponent is pressuring you. While it sounds simple in theory, heat mode has worked out a lot of times for me in turning the tide of battle, especially when combined with rage arts. Rage art is another new system introduced in Tekken 8 which activates when your fighter is really low in health. You get the chance to dish out one super flashy high damage combo. Combined with the heat mode, it does massive damage, but you have to be careful while using it. Because if you miss it, it leaves you open for a counter attack, and considering the fact that you are already at low health when the rage art activates, you are not coming back from this miss. But if you hit it combined with the heat mode, then you can really turn the tide of the battle. Believe me, it is a lot more fun in practice than I'm making it sound right now, because your opponent has the same options available as well. Apart from this, the game has a really impressive practice mode to help you master the art of Tekken. Another addition this time is the ability to regain lost health by attacking your opponent, which promotes aggressive play. The best thing about all of this is that even with all these additions, the fights are well drawn out and both fighters have the option to perform a comeback and take the W. I understand, talking about all this makes it sound like you activate a rage art in the heat mode and if you get it right the game's over, but actually it's a lot more complicated than that. I cannot really explain how it works and I probably should not try to, but depending on the level of expertise of the players, the fights can go really long even with both fighters pulling off their most offensive moves. And that I believe is the fun of it. Win or lose, I always had fun playing Tekken 8. As an amateur fighter, I cried a lot less than I expected to and walked away with a smile from most of my fights. Either I won or I learned something. Now let's talk about what's not good about the game. That is, the netcode for the game is bad. And that is actually by design. For some reason, the netcode has to refresh at every opportunity. I understand connecting to the server and updating my stats at the launch of the game, but to do that every single second when I change servers or go between different modes, even with 0 matches in between, is super annoying. Even at 100 Mbps stable internet, it takes at least 2 minutes between fights, and that is damn near unacceptable. Another ding against the game is that they have tweaked a lot of combos to accommodate for the said rage arts and heat mode, but maybe there has been a lot of tweaking and almost no fighter feels the same when playing. I understand the need to make every fighter feel fresh, but the fact that none of my combos work from Tekken 7 is annoying. Also, some moves are a bit too much alike to the point that even the same input sometimes result in different combos. Now let's talk about the Platinum Trophy before I score Tekken 8. The Platinum, as previously stated, is super simple. You can unlock the Platinum for this game in one sitting. Most of the trophies unlock in story mode, and there are a lot of trophies like do X amount of damage in heat mode or juggle combos or X number of rage art activations or counters and so on and so forth. All you need to do is read the trophy descriptions before playing so that you know what you need to do to unlock the majority of trophies in story mode. Almost 70% of these will come naturally. You have to play the final stage of the story mode twice to unlock both endings. While irrelevant, they do offer a trophy, so why not? Rest of the trophies are tied to arcade mode, which takes a couple of hours to complete, and then there are online trophies for which you can bring a friend or with the help of Super Ghost Battle use a second controller to unlock. There is also a beach volleyball type mode that you have to play for say 10-15 minutes to get the hang of it and get the trophies from it. So technically, in order to get the Platinum for Tekken 8, you just have to try every mode and play everything that the game had at launch. Trust me, it sounds more complicated than it is. I spent 15 minutes trying to understand the trophy description on Google before realizing it was already unlocked in my profile and I did not know what I had done to do that. So the Platinum Trophy is obviously more than easy. And no, you don't need to be good at Tekken 8 to unlock it. You don't even need to be good at the game to enjoy it, and that's the beauty of it. This, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the scores. I would like to give Tekken 8 as a game a 9 out of 10. This is a truly amazing fighting game that innovates on the legacy of Tekken and makes it feel fresh again. If only they were able to make the netcode a little better, it would have been the perfect fighting game. One point I do want to make is that they have added some extra episodes for the story as a free DLC where you can try out all the new fighters introduced in the first year since launch, and I believe they will do that for the next year as well. As a Platinum experience, I would like to give Tekken 8 a full 10 out of 10 because this is technically a free Platinum and you have to do almost zero efforts to unlock it. You don't need to be good at the game. Hell, you don't even need to like the game to Platinum it, because the Platinum is actually the hook that draws you in, and like me, probably you will end up spending countless hours in Tekken 8. I cannot begin to tell you how good this game is because I have personal examples of friends I know who are trophy hunters and they picked up Tekken 8 just for the easy plat and now this is all they play. they have not been able to put it down since and have completely given up playing new games, even because they are enjoying Tekken 8 so much and they are hooked on getting better at it. I am personally hoping these guys do make it to EVO or some fighting tournament so I can say that I made that guy unlock most of his trophies. So that, my sweet folks, was the Platinum review for Tekken 8. I really hope this was able to help you out and provide some insights on Tekken 8. I would highly recommend going for the Platinum for this game, but beware of the hooks it can sink into you. Apart from that, please remember to like, share and subscribe. Let me know about your feedback in the comment section. And as always, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stay safe, stay healthy and stay busy playing some good games.